I had started acting before I'd finished school, and I look back, and actually really the things that get you through the moments of rejection and where you lose momentum is like really good friends, like spend time with really good people and listen to music and keep yourself inspired in whatever way that is. In fact, still, if I leave the house without my headphones, I sort of have a slight panic. My first day on set was when I was about 6 or 7, and it was in an episode of Bramwell with Gemma Redgrave, and I ran along with a boater hat with a Shetland pony, and they would say action, and I would go and look straight into the lens every time. And they're like, no, literally all you need to do is just run and don't look at the camera. And I was like, yeah. Like, we're just gonna try it one more time. Don't look at the camera. I was like, 100%. Shall I look at the Shetland pony? And they're like, yeah, look at the pony. I was like, okay, great. And I was like, so that was my memory. It was a really, it's kind of a key lesson to learn, but I was so grateful for it, really looking back. A turning point in my career, I can sort of feel it now, even remembering it, but it's getting offered a part at the National Theatre. And it was just before Christmas. It was like on the 21st of December, and Cliff Richard was playing as I walked into the National. It was to play Cassio in Othello. So Shakespeare at the National felt incredibly far away as an opportunity for me, and Nick Heintner offered me the part in the room, which is one of those moments in my career where just being sort of endorsed in that way, with someone just going, yeah, do you want to do it? Instilled real confidence, and it was just so exciting. I have had many disappointing moments, of course, and they massively outweigh the moments where things align and things work out. And that's what makes those moments so much sweeter. It's part and parcel of, I think, definitely being an actor, and also, I think, across the board in the industry. Unexpected and surprising moments in the career. I had one actually last year, and it was just the way that I was told that I was going to be in Wicked, or that I'd been offered the part. And Jon Chu, I got wind that he wanted to have a Zoom and to chat, and Marc Platt was also on the Zoom as I logged in, and we were talking about, various different things, about, talking about what would be required and about dancing, and then just as it's sort of genius really from Jon, but he then said, there's a few actual producers that just want to come in and say hello, and it just popped up with Galinda the Good Witch and Cynthia Erivo, and it was Ari and Cynthia going, will you come to Shiz? I was like, yeah. It's an awful thing on Zoom where, it's just sort of blindsided in the best possible way. So that was definitely a bit of a surprise. But what a brilliant way to do it. When you finish a job and you've shared this amazing experience with so many people, not, obviously with the writers and the creatives and the crew as well, and you sort of have those moments you go, we did it, because actually, depending on what your part size in these things, but like if you're there every day throughout, it's huge, and you start, it's like a slab of marble, and you sort of know or you think you know what you think is underneath and what the statue's going to look like, but everyone is just chipping away. And then when you see it, you just have this sort of sense of relief. Yeah, you're bonded through that, and that's always a proud moment. If I could go back to time travel, I'd hate to go back to any time really. I feel like, but obviously the struggle is part of the process, but I would go back, I think, to myself and just say, be really sort of clear about wanting to find a mentor. And it's a really good thing to ask for in people, because it's such an honour, I think, to be asked to do that. And ask for advice and feedback from a mentor that you respect and that you look up to, who isn't, part of your echo chamber. You need someone who's just outside, who helps you realise your full potential, but also will hopefully keep you on the straight and narrow, because, every cycle, I think, for creatives is similar, depending on where you're at. And you could be at the beginning of a career, you could be really successful, you could be doing loads and loads of work, or none at all, but it's still the same cycle. If you have someone who's weathered and brilliant and grounded because they've seen it time and time again, ask them to just be a sounding board. I do have some brilliant mentors, and particularly in theatre, because I do think that process is so obvious, because you go in, you rehearse, and you're with that director, and you see their vision, and you fall into it, and you apply your discipline, and they leave you for a bit and then they come back and give you notes, and they see you at all your edges. And some of the actors that I think are just brilliant, who I see in their sort of early 20s now, and I always just say to them, go and do theatre as quickly as you can. I think that's the best piece of advice, just for that experience. It's just the purest version of everything that happens, even in film, like experiencing Wicked. It's like, it's still the same thing. It's just, it gets protracted and diluted the bigger it gets.